أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله. حي على الصلاة، حي على الصلاة، حي على الفلاح، حي على الفلاح. الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله.
إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له وما يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله وخير الهدى هدى محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة دلالة وكل دلالة في النار. All the praise and all of the glorification, all of the magnification, all of our dedication should be for Allah Jalla fi'ala. And I publicly, and I inwardly, and I outwardly profess and attest that there is nothing or no one that deserves to be worshipped other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And I bear witness that Al-Mustafa, Al-Amin, Al-Muqasim, Al-Sadiq, Al-Masduq is the last of messengers sent to guide humanity from the darkness to the light. يا إخوتي في الله، يا أخواتي في الله. We came here today, بإذن ta'ala, to talk about something which is unfortunately manifesting very much in the Muslim communities in the so-called Western world. We're talking about the identity crisis, ya ikhwan. Well, the Muslim doesn't know that he's a Muslim or should be a Muslim. We are talking about, ya ikhwan, are you Muslim Canadian or are you Canadian Muslim? Are you a real Muslim or are you a fake Muslim? Islamic identity, ya ikhwan, is integral to the strength of the ummah. Are you a fake or are you real? So the whole question comes down to Eastern versus Western. The Western world. This is what it's all about. Many of the Muslims, they come from the Eastern world. What's wrong with the East? This is a question I've always had. Foreign ideas versus foreign ideologies, ya ikhwan, have penetrated the hearts and the minds and the souls of our ummah, ya ikhwan. We're talking about identity crisis. Do we need to define the boundaries of the Islamic boundaries, ya ikhwan? On Facebook the other day, ya ikhwan, I seen something which was so astonishing, ya ikhwan. And inshallah, this point here will connect it to another point later in the khutbah bidnillahi ta'ala. On Facebook, with my eyes, I seen a parrot walking on the dog's bed, going, arr, 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 and the dog was like this, scared. The parrot became an imposter. The parrot learned how to bark, ya ikhwan. And it had the dog in shell shock. The dog never seen anything like that before in his life. The question comes, ya ikhwan, who is the real dog? And as they say, it's not the fight in the dog, it's the dog in the fight. The parrot had the dog shook. The dog was intimidated, ya ikhwan, in a state of submission because a little small parrot was barking at it. As you know, they can mimic what they hear. Many have been indoctrinated, ya ikhwan, to believe un-Islamic views are better than universal or modern views, ya ikhwan. Some of the Muslims, I've heard them with my own ears say, this is a superior, beautiful, nice, civilized place, and the Muslim world is backwards. The Muslim world is backwards because the Muslims are backwards. Ya ikhwan. There was a time when we led the world and everything. But then, ya ikhwan, the question comes, what happened to our identity? أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وقال الله تعالى Allah Ta'ala goes on to say يا أيها الذين آمنوا ادخلوا في السلم كافة. O you who believe, enter into Islam completely, not like a chameleon changing your colors. We have become, ya ikhwan, Muslim, maybe on Eid, maybe on Friday, maybe, ya ikhwan, during the month of Ramadan. Are we real Muslims or are we fake Muslims, ya ikhwan? And this comes to the question of, ya ikhwan, are there levels of different types of Muslims? Yes. That's not to say that it's a bad thing in general. But we need to figure out where we're at. Qala Nabiya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. This is about the value of the strong Muslim versus the weak Muslim. Qala Nabiya sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, this is on the authority of Abu Hurairah. Al-mu'minu qawiyyun khayrun wa habbu ilallahi min al-mu'min al-da'if. Fi kullu khayr. That the strong believer, I used to be strong, I wish I was stronger, and I'm working on it, big dua for me, is more better and more beloved to Allah than the weak one. And it's not just in your jasad, in your body, ya ikhwan, it's also in your mind, your body, and your soul, ya ikhwan. The question is identity crisis, ya ikhwan. I was visiting a city, and in this city, the Sikh people are there. And as soon as you come into this city, you see the Sikh men standing very strong. He has his weapon on him, the Qur'an. He has a turban. He has a beard. And as soon as you know, there's no doubt in your mind, that's a Sikh. He has a strong identity. He's not giving it up. They support, do business with one another. They built up the community so much. And we know for sure, brothers, we take riba, that's a side point, that they built it, it's an illusion. But still, the look, anybody looks, they realize, these are the Sikhs. Yesterday I was in the mall, I seen a Mennonite or an Amish person holding on to the ways of their ancestors, ya ikhwan. I don't know if you've ever seen a Mennonite or an Amish. These are people that live out in the country. The women actually wear a bonnet which covers her hair and a jilbab. And the man, he usually wears long trousers, he has a beard and he has a cap. And they try to cling to their belief, ya ikhwan. So we're talking about, ya ikhwan, identity crisis, brothers. Identity crisis. Are we Muslim Canadian or are we Canadian Muslim? Are we a Muslim doctor or are we a doctor who's Muslim? Are we a Muslim engineer or are we an engineer who happens to be Muslim? Are we a Muslim basketball player or we are a basketball player who happens to be Muslim? I'm going to give you an example. This is something that I know about, I read about, I understood, and I seen it in my lifetime. When Hakeem Olajuwon won the championship, in 1994, ya ikhwan. Imagine, you're the MVP. Your team just won the championship. The mayor and the coach and also the people of the state, they want to know, are you going to come to the parade? We've decided to have the parade on a Friday. He said, sorry, I can't come. Imagine this, you're the MVP, you're a Muslim of the league. He said, sorry, I can't come to the parade. Why not? You're the champ. You're the MVP, the most valuable player. He said, no, Friday is my religious day. He became Muslim before he became a basketball player. They said, oh, you're going to be praying all the day? He said, no, for about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I'm going to be praying. They asked some questions. Because he had the izzah of being the champ, the best at what he does, they asked a couple more questions. They said to him, Hafidhullah, they said, well, when does it end? He said, about 2:30. He said, okay. Can we start the parade maybe 3 o'clock? Will you be free then? You don't have to pray no more? No, I'm good. So the whole city started the prayer at the masjid, and then they walked downtown, ya ikhwan. He told them, no, I can't come to your parade. I got something better to do, how to worship Allah Azza wa Jalla. He became Muslim first. He had a strong Muslim identity. And when they won that championship, ya ikhwan, the whole team knew that he doesn't consume spirits. This is the technical name that the people use, meaning alcohol. So they didn't pop any champagne. And ya ikhwan, the second year when they won, because the first year he didn't want the little ring, which was made of gold. He said, I don't wear gold. The next year, when they won again, they made a platinum ring, which now all the players in the NBA, they get platinum. Muslim first. Whatever you're else second, ya ikhwan. This is something, ya ikhwan, that we are dealing with. We need to really protect our identity at all costs. Other people do, like we talked about the Sikh and the Amish and other different religious backgrounds and other different identities. There's even people who watch, ya ikhwan, what is called anime. Anime is Japanese cartoons. And I've seen these people walking the streets with the outfits of some superhero over in Japan, which you can only find it on Netflix, and they dress up in these outfits every other day, ya ikhwan, like they're a superhero in Japan. And they're proud of it. And other people with other types of dresses, we see them every day. The question comes, ya ikhwan, what are we doing? قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم, the Prophet said on the authority of Ibn Umar, من تشبه قوم فهو منهم. He who imitates the people is like them. It first starts i'tiqadi, the thought process, ya ikhwan. Are we thinking like a Muslim? Are we believing like a Muslim? Are we trying to act like a Muslim, ya ikhwan? And it's not just the clothes, ya ikhwan. But imagine, why do the Sikh, why does he wear his turban? Because they want to be like the Guru. But the Muslim doesn't want to look like Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, ya ikhwan. It's shameful, really, ya ikhwan, coming from Christianity. For Islam, I believe, and I still believe in the Nabi Isa alayhi salatu taslim. I had a love for him, ya ikhwan. But I knew he wasn't God. Then I heard about Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And he has something called the Sunnah, his personal way of life, ya ikhwan. And it's not something that we have to imagine, ya ikhwan. It's been written down by the scholars past qarnin ba'da qarnin, jil ba'da jil, generation after generation, ya ikhwan, era after era. It's there on the books, but nobody reads the Sunnah. And sometimes, ya ikhwan, me as a new Muslim, and not everybody, they know that I do this sometimes where you see me on the member, I'm just a regular Muslim. They see me doing something, they say, brother, what are you doing? What are you doing, brother? Why are you doing this weird thing, brother? For instance, come to the masjid, Salatul Fajr, pray 2 rakats, lay down in the masjid. If you come, you might see me laying down in the masjid before Salatul Fajr. People, brother, kick me. Brother, are you okay? You didn't get any sleep, brother? Brother, why are you laying down? Are you okay, brother? Are you okay? Your back's hurting you? I said, no, I'm just trying to follow the Sunnah. Prophet ﷺ used to lay on his right side between the 2 rakats. Oh, I've never heard this before, brother. Because you don't read Ya Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You don't know the Sunnah of your Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. We have to work on that, my dear brothers. Identity crisis, ya ikhwan. قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم إن الله لا ينظر إلى أجسامكم ولا إلى صوركم ولكن ينظر إلى قلوبكم وأعمالكم. Verily, Allah, He does not look at the size of your big belly. May Allah help me with this big belly. Nor at your appearance. I'm not 6 foot tall. But He looks at your hearts. And He looks at your deeds. This, brothers, is something we need to work upon. So before we sit down for Jilsa Istiraha, we're going to talk about a few things here. We need to ask ourselves these questions. And we need to identify them. Imposters in the Ummah. They look like they're pious, but they are not. I am not a pious man. I'm working to become pious. They look like the righteous. I am not a righteous man. I'm trying to become righteous. Also the word total assimilation. The process through which individuals and groups acquire the habits, the attitudes, and the modes of operations that are embedded in the so-called dominant culture. Yeah, well, I like basketball, I like hockey. And every now and then I get a ticket to go down and watch the game at the ACC Center. Now, while you're there, people are drinking beer. You don't gotta drink beer. You can drink 7-Up, Sprite. There's pork hot dogs there, and there's kosher hot dogs there, ya ikhwan. Me and my son, we went there one time to watch a game, and we got some kosher hot dogs. And one of the Muslims said, Akhi, is it halal? I said, it's halal for me, but maybe it's haram for you, it's kosher. I don't know if people even know what kosher is. We're so into the halal culture now, brothers. They want to know, is your food halal, but their house isn't halal, their car isn't halal, their education isn't halal, they don't dress halal, they don't... Halal, brothers, we need to work on it. The last one is integration. The act of unifying different things, different peoples, different races, different cultures, and they give people equal rights. Now some people, they're like black coffee, totally black. No sugar, no milk, no cream. I like it all the different ways. I like it black, I like it with sugar. Sometimes I don't like it with sugar, I like it with honey. Sometimes I don't like it with milk, I like it with cream, ya ikhwan. The question comes, ya ikhwan. Identity crisis. Identity crisis. Where is our superpower gone? أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لكم وسلام عليكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. الحمد لله حمد كثير طيبا مبارك فيه كما يحب ربنا ويرضى. Identity crisis. The identity crisis. In popular culture, in the movies, you'll find that they glorify and they put up high the culture of being a vampire, or a Batman, or a Superman, or a Spider-Man. Something happened to this individual and they got superpowers. Billions are invested in blockbuster movies, franchises, for superheroes or supervillains. But the question comes, my dear brothers. In these movies, people get superpowers when they change, but for us, we lose our superpowers when we change. And as I was reading the hadith, I found out that we have become what is known as the lizard people. Probably I'm the first one to say that in the history of Islam. We've become the lizard people. Where do you get this from, Ya Abu Shahada? قال النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This hadith is narrated on Abu Sa'id al-Khudri. لا تتبعون سننا من كان قبلكم شبرا شبرا وذراعا بذراع حتى لو اتخذوا جحر دب تبعتموهم قلنا يا رسول الله اليهود والنصارى. The Prophet ﷺ, for men. The Prophet ﷺ went on to say, you will follow the ways of the nations who were before you, handspan by handspan, or cubit by cubit, or inch by inch, so much so that even if they entered into a lizard hole, another classical way to say it is Magisco, you would follow them. We said, oh, Prophet of Allah, do you mean the Yahud or Nasara? He said, who else? Yahweh, we have become the lizard people, Yahweh. This is how sad it is, Yahweh. Whatever they do, we do. Whatever they glorify, we glorify. Ya Ummah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, we're supposed to have what is known as a strong shakhsiyah, a strong demeanor, Yahweh. Strong, Yahweh. Like our brother Khateeb, the MMA fighter, Yahweh. The flamboy, hot boy that he went up against Mr. McGregor. Drink some alcohol. Do this, do that, very loud and boisterous, which all the non-Muslims, they love that. He was humbled by the humble man, Yahweh. He got choked out by our Muslim brother. The non-Muslim offered him some alcohol. He said, no, man, I don't drink. He said, man, here, put some beautiful women that aren't close. No, man, we don't do that. We're Muslim. So, Yahweh, when I was growing up, I had people, before I became Muslim, I looked up to them. I had somebody known as Muhammad Ali. Everybody knows Muhammad Ali, the champ of the champs. This was one of my heroes growing up, Yahweh. Also, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Most likely, his record might go next year, Yahweh. LeBron James will probably pass him, but Kareem only shot 1 3-pointer. He himself, at time, was practicing Islam, but then some things happened to him in his life, and his deen became very shaky, ya akhwan. So you have to be careful who you hang out with, brothers. It's extremely important that you hang out with good brothers that are reminding you of Allah. If the brothers that you're hanging out don't remind you of Allah and remind you of your service and the things you need to do to get closer to Allah, then you need to get away from them, brothers. Because either their volume is going to reach your heart or your volume is going to reach their heart. My dear brothers, let us check our Islamic identity. Have we become lizards, my brothers? Have we become lizards, my brothers? Think about this. The Prophet said that we will follow them into a lizard hole, ya ikhwan. So while we went into that lizard hole, many of us become lizards. We lost our power, ya ikhwan. We need to regain it and to put on the mantle of the sunnah, which will give us salvation. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala ali Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka hamidun majid. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal to protect the ummah of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and to make us, ya akhwan, strong men and strong women on the sunnah and not to be lizard people. With that, Aqim as-salat wa rahmakallah.